Hey guys, it's Tony. I wanted to make a quick video just on the TA on TLH right now, just on the 20-year Treasury bonds, basically. Um, I don't want to say it's looking bad. It's not necessarily looking good, but it's not, it's not the best. It's not the direction that we're looking at, right? Like we can see these huge drops, um, on the monthly, weekly, and on the daily as well. Like everything is like perfectly, not perfectly low, but it's set up to drop even lower, right? Like I mean, the good thing is that we've actually on the daily we actually dropped to what is it, to the 130, 137, 138 level, and we bounced off that, right? But it does seem like momentum has obviously been going down, right? You see, obviously you see a lower low, higher low, lower. It's a lower low down here, higher low, then another lower low right here, right? And the continuation of this is kind of bad because we can see that if we do close under 138, 137.99, it does look like we'll drop all the way down to 134, 134, 135. And this right here is going to be, let's see what kind of a drop this would be from, just from the prices that we are now, from where we closed. If we do drop down to 130, it's gonna be another 3% drop, and I know a lot of people are already kind of on the bridge or kind of on the edge of their positions, right? But I mean, just looking at it, it looks like we're gonna keep going down for a while. Like I mean, we've been bearish for like on the bonds for the last what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like half a year we've been bearish on the 20-year bonds, and it's kind of crazy to think about that the market just now is catching up, right? I don't think that the 20-year bonds are really a good, I don't want to say the best sentiment to correlate the SPY or tech stock or anything, because while this has been going down the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, tech has been rising a whole bunch, right? So we can't really correlate both of them. And I don't think that there's a huge correlation between the 10-year bonds, 20-year bonds, 30-year, 5-year, whatever, just because, tech's been hitting all-time high and tech's been hitting all-time high for like a while now. We just started going down maybe like the last week or so, while the bonds have been going down since like January or something, right? So I do think that, actually not January, since when was peak? Peak was back in August. So I mean, we haven't been, the market's been super bullish up until like February this year, right? And the bonds hit a peak at August last year, which I don't think there's going to be any correlation regardless of what other people are saying. But as of right now, bonds still look really bearish, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It still looks pretty bearish. There has been some indication of us, maybe bouncing back off these levels, but unless we actually, go all the way back up to, for the bonds back up to 141, close above, and then shoot back up to what, 145, then I'd probably be bullish. But as of now, on the bonds at least, I'm still relatively bearish. I still think it's gonna keep dropping, at least from what the TA says, right? It's not looking like the best market right now. And everything is still trending down. Like, I mean, the MACD is still down. The stochastic is still constantly, I don't want to say creating bottoms, but it's trading at this under 25 level, right? Which means that it's completely oversold, but it's still moving downward. So I wouldn't be surprised if we keep going lower, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised at all, which is the crappy part. So I'll see you guys later. It kind of sucks that we're in this market right now, just because I do think that at least for the bonds are going to keep going lower. I'll look at the SPY right now and see see what's going on, because I know a couple of weeks back I did say that the SPY was going to go back down to 360, and we've been constantly hitting all-time highs for the SPY recently. I don't know if the SPY is actually going to drop, because tech is dropping a lot. Basically the whole market's dropping, and the SPY is hitting all-time highs, which is pretty nuts, right? It means that it's basically hitting all-time highs without tech. So that's where you see that cycle of people getting out of tech and going back into companies like AMC or Cheesecake Factory or restaurants or hotels or what is it called, or aviation, right? Airplanes, Boeing, Spirit Airlines, American Airlines, whatever, all that stuff, right? So that's where you see that cycle going back to, back to companies that are actually opening up. And I think that even right now, Disney's gonna fly because they're opening back up. I think April 30th. So I think up until April 30th, I think Disney's basically gonna be bullish the whole time. So even though the market's down, I still think Disney is gonna rally the whole way up until they open. And then when they open, I think that you guys are gonna see a small dip. But I think we're rallying from right now up until Disney open, and more than likely I'm buying calls tomorrow on Disney just because I think it's going to keep going up. But that's basically it for the bonds. I do think bonds are still going to be going down as far as looking at the TA. I'd be perfectly comfortable buying. I wouldn't buy actually puts right now. I'd probably buy if we hit 141 on the bond side. On TLT, TLH, I think I'm doing TLH right now, but TLE, TLH, I think if it hits this previous resistance, I'd definitely be buying puts there because I do think that the market's gonna go back down. So we'll see. At least this is just for bonds though. So I'll do a TA on the SPY and this a P500, and then we'll kind of gauge to see where the market's actually going from there. But at least for bonds, it does not look good.